Hello, everybody, and welcome to this round of eight match.
Eight. I think.
Yep,
Did I count?
round of eight match.
Can I count?
And
One, two, three.
Yep,
Yes.
we are. It's round of eight. I know it's round of eight.
Yep.
Have you reset the picks and bans screen, by the way?
Yes, I did.
All right, it hasn't shown for me.
Well, it shows on stream. That's all you need to know. Is as long as they can see what I can see.
Yep.
So
as long as they can see that. Anyway, we're going to see Sun Wukong banned out for the first ban of that is Iguana Gaming. No, Iguana Gang.
Iguana Gang is. Oh dear. I
know.
My end game is messed up as well. Hold on. Iguana Gang is Naru. Iguana Gang banned Cirquette.
Yeah.
And Vicious and Delicious banned. Oh, so okay, whatever. They're backward. Don't. Well,
yeah.
I'll fix it.
No, they're not backwards. They're right around in game. But it's Vicious and Delicious is going to be on the order side, which should be on the left-hand side of your screen for the name, and on the top side for the picks and bans. And then Iguana Gang are going to be the bottom side of the picks and bans.
I need to swap those. That's one moment. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the bans out.
Yeah. So we see Vicious Delicious ban out Sun Wukong and Geb. Standard bans looking, rather than sort of going against a hidden composition, they're looking for more of a just, we don't like these gods, we're not going to play them. So Iguana decide to respond by banning out Cirquette and Capri. Capri, again, very strong. Cirquette means that they most likely want to have some healing in their composition. As you can see, Isis was actually picked up as the first pick from Iguana Gaming. Bellona picked up first for Vicious and Delicious, wanting to try and make sure that they have that. It's also a flex pick. It could go into the jungle if they want, and most likely will be, as I believe she does better in the jungle. Athena also picked up for Iguana Gaming. Just, again, strong support. Not much there. Jinchan's banned already, so why not go Athena? Just why not? Noir and Sylvana's going to be picked up for Vicious and Delicious. If you don't know who is on Vicious and Delicious, Ninja Sniper, although I believe he is actually in the support role. No, he is in middle.
He's been running mid.
Yeah. Yeah, he is in mid, and he will be playing that Noir middle, and I think Noir is one of his most favorite characters currently.
Just behind Isis, but yeah, she's up there for him. So, but again, it depends on the composition, as Medusa is locked in, and now this
Medusa locked in for Iguana Gaming. Quite a strong pick, wanting to go for the early one, and also they've gone for the major look combo of Medusa and Athena. Big combo, can do a lot, but you have to get them both right. Luckily for them, they haven't gone. Vicious and Delicious have not decided to go for a get. They actually banned him out, so it's a much easier comp to actually secure now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Vicious and Delicious having a little bit of struggle in the duo lane just a little bit early on. Freya banned out from Iguana Gaming as well, just to make sure that they can't have a good fight in the early game.
Freya does incredibly well against Medusa. They scale together relatively nicely, but then Freya scales so much harder in the late game than Medusa does. Also, Freya's relatively weak clear early is helped out by Sylvanas, though at the same time, double magical in that lane is very bad. One bot being hovered and, or rather banned out as the last ban by Vicious and Delicious.
Bats. Yeah, another strong jungler. Well, yeah, just strong jungler. Really easy to play and easy to get a lot of effect on. Vicious Delicious just want to make sure that they don't have this person against them, but they do leave gods like Thor open to be easily picked up. So I do actually imagine the Bellona is going to be their jungle. Tears is going to be picked up for Iguana Gaming. Unlikely to be in the jungle. It's still possible. I vaguely remember at some point. Let me just check who their jungler is.
Tier jungle was F Dot in an exhibition game, and it didn't work so well. F Dot's the last person of the tier jungle hyper carry club. Now, I haven't clicked this in yet, but Ninja Sniper is currently hovering on Muzenkob. I'm pretty sure he's just messing with his AD carry, but you never know. AMC does have really good push up against Medusa, but at the same time, Inspector's also hovering El Kwang again. And okay, all right, fine. Prove me wrong. I see how it is, Ninja.
I think I have a good idea here of as exactly why. because AMC has some really good clear, especially with the new Bluestone. It allows him to just sort of sit there and easily clear the wave. He also gets a lot of poke onto the Medusa, and more importantly, he can blow up the Medusa a lot easier because of it. So, not actually that bad of a pick, but he does still reduce a little bit. He has a better late game. He has an alright mid game against her, but the early game could be the worst bit for him.
Especially with the Nemesis
before level 5. If Medusa gets level 5 before him, he is almost guaranteed to be dead. But, I mean, in general,
I do agree.
quite good picks coming out from both sides. We didn't talk about the last pick coming from Iguana, which was Nemesis, which is going into the jungle. So, again, Nemesis, not someone we see often just because she lacks clear. But now, I think...
Varanium's missed her.
Yeah, Varanium has missed her.
She was his favorite god back when she was in meta, so it's understandable.
Yeah. Although, I will say, no Thor picked or banned. Quite surprised at that one.
It's surprising, but at the end of the day, as far as Thor is concerned, he's always a stable god, but he's just that. He's stable, he's middle of the road. Sure, he's always middle of the road good, not middle of the road bad, but that's just it, is that that's all that he is. Nemesis or your Bellona or your Ao Kuang, I believe Buddha's playing in the jungle on Bellona, and Ao Kuang's going solo in Spectre, but I'm not familiar with those players enough because I've seen them play both roles in ranked consistently. I don't know where they play on their team. That said, both of them, again, it's that, okay, what are you looking for? Thor can provide a little bit of one or the other, but not the lot of bit that they can bring situationally.
Yeah, you are correct. That is going to be a Bellona jungle.
Okay, thank you. Again,
right, so.
I've seen them both play both of those positions in ranked. I'm not familiar with the Vicious and Delicious lineup, mainly because Benny Q and Ninja Sniper were on a different team like 4 days ago.
Yeah, so... there has been a lot of team changing around, getting ready for the Challengers Cup, and I think we will see people that we thought we knew were in the right places just suddenly change in completely different places. I think the best example is Snakeskin. Originally was going to be playing with the EU team Netflix and Chill, but they kicked him off, as far as I know, or at least he left of his own volition.
Some variation on the theme of departure.
Yeah,
from
he's basically no longer
SPL.
on that one. Yeah,
so,
it's EU SPL.
With that said, we're going to go ahead and let Spectator finish counting down about a minute, maybe two, depending on how things load in. But we will be back in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. This is the quarterfinals, Vicious and Delicious up against the Iguana Gang. Thank you for your patience with our technical difficulties. This, of course, is week number 1 of the North American Smite Challenger Cup. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are into the action now. Vicious and Delicious up against Iguana Gang. I think I got everything set up correctly. I'm just going to look one more time, make sure I didn't do anything wrong.
I hope you have as well, because if it's set up perfectly, it's set up like mine. We do actually see Vicious and Delicious grouping up, making sure that the Sylvanas was going to be a right place in that ward, wasn't going to get caught out. Pretty nice. Do you want to introduce Vicious and Delicious over on your side?
Gladly. So we have Vicious and Delicious playing, Vicious and Delicious made up of Benny Q playing the Hunter role, Benny Q on the AMC, Metempsychosis on the Sylvanas in support, Ninja Sniper in the mid lane on Christmas Noir, and Buddha in the jungle on Bellona, and then Spectre, which is relatively fitting considering the water illusion, on Ao Kuang.
Yeah, and then over on the side of Iguana, we're going to see Medusa being played by Naru, Purple playing Athena, Fit for a King playing Isis, Varanium on Nemesis, and OQ playing here. And we already see Vicious and Delicious actually taking out this mid camp, not going for the start. I think they want to get an kill on the Isis, and she already putted it out. Going to get rooted though. Fit for a King may actually fall straight away. It's going to go down to the Sylvanas, and now there's going to be an invade onto the attack speed buff as well. Medusa getting very low, about half health, and they steal it away.
And the pull is even more. Oh my goodness, Naru's going to die here. I think he's accepted that fact, and he does well. Yeah. Benny Q getting that kill because, well, Psychosis. As I choke on my excitement. Oh dear. That was crazy. So,
yeah, there was a lot of excitement in that one.
Yes,
Great pull through the wall. Beautiful. That was an amazing pull. And that immediately means the Vicious and Delicious are already 1,000 gold ahead within a minute. So, and they're also going to get the right side mid camp to top it off.
Indeed. So, to really quickly to point out, we were discussing the Bluestone pendant on the B, which is certainly a good option. However, he decided to go Transcendence first item because, well, AMC has no problem with healing.
Yeah, and then to turn it around,
mana can be a problem, so he's going to get that. Now, Varanium
and then
awkward spot.
Yeah, actually going to be forced to get away from his own backside. As Benny Q is just rotating with his Sylvanas, they are going to try and follow up and do a little bit of damage onto Metapsychosis and Benny Q, but they just can't find too much. As I was saying, so you said AMC decided to go with Transcendence to start off with, and then Medusa decided to mess it around by going Bluestone Boost.
Bluestone is a Medusa start. I'm not a huge fan of the boots start on a hunter. I am a very big proponent of getting a stacking item as soon as possible. So that's me. And then as far as the rest of it goes, you know, I'm not sure where she's going into, which is probably the biggest concern as a caster. It's always nice if she goes into Devourer's Gauntlets, into Spike's Gauntlet, you know where she's going. If she's going into, you know, something else, you know where she's going. She starts boots. She's got 4 other options after that, and I don't like that because, well, then I don't know what she's gonna do, and it makes it harder for me.
See, very luckily, I've actually been testing out Medusa with the Bluestone Boots combo, and so far I found the best one. You can either go into Transcendence after Boots, or you can go into Soul Eater and just go the standard from
Soul Eater
there.
makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Purely because Transcendence starting that late is very difficult to get those stacks up and get it going. Solo lane, though, Spectre may be the first to fall on Vicious. Actually, he is just a little bit faster than OQ because he has boots, and then also just his base movement speed is higher. And OQ is going to be, well, I mean, it's an ultimate burn by Buddha, but at the same time, she is a very scary purple-haired lady. So mid lane, though, speaking of very scary, fit for a king, also purple-haired, but not so much the scary, but the scared one, as she does have to back now, as Metempsychosis and Nuwa had applied so much damage. But Ninja Sniper opting not to ult to try and get a kill, though at this point now she's obviously back and healed back up.
Yeah, well, if you have a look at how much damage it does, early on, it's level 1, it's 100 plus 30% of your magical power, and she currently is sitting on a whole 54 magical power. So, how much damage is that going to be? That's going to be around, 110, 115. So it's going to be not too much. It's going to be about one of the small health bars that you can see. Like, it's split into sections. That's about 100 HP. So that's how much it needs to be on to guarantee that kill. I imagine he just didn't want to be too risky with it. Just be secure, get it done, and if he needed to get out, he could use it there. One thing as well, we also saw OQ actually decided not to use his ultimate. He could have killed Spectre if he used his ulti, but he decided to play it safe as well. Now we see the right-hand side mid-camp again going to Vicious and Delicious, and with only 4 minutes in, but we see a 1,800 gold lead. So it's increasing as it goes, getting to nearly 2,000 already before the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, the experience has been relatively stable since the first set of kills and then the ensuing invasion. However, the gold increase has just been, again, it's been a consistent trend. It hasn't necessarily been linear, but they have been maintaining a press and a lead. So they are crushing forward into their opponents, and Bluestone Pendant was taken by Nar, or not Bluestone Pendant, Purple buff, attack speed buff was taken by Nar this time. We're going to see actually a push there into Nar, but Nar is going to get the CC immunity from her ultimate, or from the Medusa ultimate, actually, excuse me. However, there is that ultimate that we discussed before, and Ninja Sniper is going to get that exactly. Now, however, mid lane, speaking of Ninja Sniper, Varanium is looking for something. It's going to look for the slow there onto Buddha. Buddha in a little bit of trouble. Buddha is going to use the... I'm going to have to use the... There we go.
Yep.
My brain's not working right now, I'm sorry.
Had to use the Eagle's Rally to get away. Luckily is able to. Varanium's going to come around the backside just to try and finish him off. Using the dash, not going to get it. Is just going to accept and go for the back copy instead. Doesn't really want to go into this mid lane because there's a whole lot of people. The Spectre has rotated over and already killed for a king. Another one possibly going down as well, Purple, as Benny Q takes that. Although I believe that was the... No, Alchemy ultimate is still up. Varanium rotated over. Tyr going to use his ultimate in. Perfect, Fearless. That's going to be a kill to Naru. And another one to Veranium. Now Bologna's going to come in, trying to use the hammer as much as possible. Veranium very low on health, going to finally finish off. And now Q is doing a lot of damage to Bologna, trying to look for a Fearless. I don't think he'll be able to find it though, as he's already used his ultimate. Backing off away from each other. I think that was a 2-for-2 overall, I'm gonna call, if you include Fit for a King dying earlier.
So I would call that a 2-for-2 overall, a 2-for-2 trade, and because of who died in that engagement, which when you look at the charts, it's actually slightly in favor of Iguana Gang, because there were some pretty serious dips in there towards the end of the fight that gave them some good kills, and their mid laner is now 0-2-0. They, to a degree, have sort of given up on Isis being important in this mid game. She's a level behind. She's significantly behind in gold, and she's just going to have to hope that they can get something going. And really, right now, their hope relies on their jungler being able to camp mid lane a little bit more and provide a little more pressure, or again, their support maybe being able to provide a little more peel. Though support peel at this point, considering that it's in Athena, she just needs some levels, not necessarily any gold.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that people always say is that Isis is more a mid-lane game god. She doesn't do that well later on. Whereas actually, we're going to see the Sylvanas blink in with the ultimate as well. Bologna going over the wall, the Eagles rally, doing a lot of damage. Ninja Strike is going to go into the ultimate. Isis ultimate is out on the floor doing a lot of healing and protection. Veranium focusing Ninja Sniper in the background, but Alcon going to go up in the air and also blow the Athena ultimate onto the Fit for a King as well. Buddha is going to die in the tower after trying to chase Purple down, not quite finishing him off. So that was a 1-for-1, and I think V&D Vicious and Delicious still want to go in as Veranium. Ninja Sniper are looking for fighting each other. Great pull coming in from there. The shield is forced from the Nemesis. And I think that's finally going to be a back off from Iguana Gang, because they know that they can possibly die this next fight.
Spectre does steal away this purple buff for Benny Q, and Benny Q will be getting that as well as the first tower of the game over in this dual lane at 8 minutes and change. Something to note there, I think in that last fight, that should have been a 2-for-1. Spectre also not going on a Veranium. Interesting decision there. But as I was saying, we saw the dive from Bologna, expecting the dive back down from Spectre out of his ultimate to re-engage.
Oh, actually taunt from the Athena, very nearly killing Ninja Sniper. Going to finish off finally by OQ in the background. Also look for the Fearless, but Spectre finishes off Fit for a King underneath the tower. Yet again, another death for him, sitting at 0-4. But it can't find the slow onto OQ. Did look at the Eagles rally, couldn't find it either. And now that's probably just going to be back off. Get ready for the next fight, get some items, because I imagine there's a fair amount of gold in hand if we have a look. Yeah, MC sitting on 1.5k right now.
And then,
I think he should probably go ahead back.
Sylvana sitting at less than 50 because they both just bought these full stack of Transcendence as well, so he's sitting very, very nicely. Soul Eater is being worked on by the Medusa, and Benny Q doesn't necessarily need to, I mean, he's going to back right now after clearing the wave. Well, that's exactly it, is that he doesn't need to back right now because he's got this entire wave, or this entire lane that he sort of owns now, so he can do exactly that, go over, clear a wave. If the second wave was a little bit closer, maybe, but instead, gets that one, is going to go into Soul Eater as well, but goes into Ninja Tabi. Not something I'm a huge fan of, because AMC, just, you know, beautiful ultimate in pull right there on to Fit for a King. However, Fit for a King is going to beads and disengage. Ninja Sniper is here for the peel, is going to hit purple as well. This may, now it looks like they want to get out, but Gnarly is looking for something, and hits them with again with a slow. Going to coming out from Nuwa. He's going to come back down, and Imagine Psychosis is in some trouble, but Purple's going to get blown up by Ninja, and now we are going to see the push forward back from Vicious and Delicious.
Yeah, although they are quite low on health, you see the Mr. Psychosis has to sit back, but Spectre actually tried to finish off someone in the background, couldn't find it, and then a beautiful ultimate Fearless combo from OQ is going to get a triple kill for him. 4 of Iguana Gang have been knocked out. I don't know why I keep on calling them Iguana Gaming. Only Buddha is left. He does have his ultimate. He could try and stop this, but Iguana Gang know exactly where he is. Varanium's going to come around the backline. He wants to try and make sure this stops as soon as possible, and yeah, safe thing to do, just back off. Give this Gold Fury to Iguana Gang, and that's going to be the first Gold Fury of the game, going to Iguana Gang. Now, below that, may you get caught out again.
I did not like that decision at all. Buddha should have just backed as soon as he went through and saw that they were zoning. Turn around, run back to your tower, and back, because now he's backing, and the rest of his team is showing up, but they don't have the jungler. If he had backed and then they all push back out at once, then you're back in this 5v5 situation, or wherever you choose to go. Compared to right now, Iguana Gang knows that it's, 3 to 4 members on the map, with the Bologna having just based and then also had to heal back up. So, again, the minor things, but they are still details that I consider important.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was quite an important one, they could have actually pushed down a tier 1 tower again and got some more gold back. They are still in the lead in gold, but it's much closer. Like, if we press F3, you can see it's about 800 gold, where it used to be sort of nearly 2,000 in the lead, and in fact, it went over 2,500.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. And again, they went from 3,000 and change, almost 4,000 in experience, down to only 1,300. Now, that said, AMC, 2 levels ahead of the Medusa. Supports are equal. Mid lane, ahead by 2 levels as well. The fact that the Isis is the lowest level on the map is huge. She's also the lowest farm overall, which is also, again, very, very big for Vicious and Delicious. And then you see jungle behind by 1 level. Okay, Bologna's going to be a tank jungle.
Oh, actually on the solo lane, Spectre's very low, looking for the Fearless, is going to find it, and that's going to be another kill going to Oki, who's sitting at 5-0 and is 3 levels above the Iguana. That's when most of the lead of Iguana. That's when most of the HP of Iguana
is that experience over
wow.
there. Buddha. Ooh, what?
Yep.
Buddha is going to fall, and there's attack. Oh, beautiful pull there from Metempsychosis, but it might be too late. Oki's going to fearless him out of the tower range, and Metempsychosis is now in a lot of trouble. That Spirit Ball is going to miss over. Isis is going to continue to try and die, and they get him is the question. Solo, he's going to fall there to the Isis, and there's the ultimate there from the Nemesis on to Duwa. Duwa's going to pop some fire charge just for the CC community, but he's going to fall anyways, and it is now 12-9 in favor of Iguana Gang in the tower falls as well. Benny Q is going to get a kill there onto Okyu, but that is it, as Benny Q is trying to run, but his movement steroid is only in an area, and he is going to fall. Spectre in trouble, going to get stunned, but he is going to get the kill there, and he needs to disengage.
More importantly, he actually was able to keep Benny Q away. He's going to look for a kill onto Pit for a King. He's going to get Isis Ball. Luckily, he had his beads, but it's still not going to be enough. Varanian finds another kill. Slow coming out onto Varanian, but a lot of healing from that 3 is going to keep him a little bit more difficult for Benny Q to actually go on this. So I imagine this should be a disengage from Vicious and Delicious. They need to stop going in so far, and they just need to break up as soon as they know they're going to stop losing fights.
If Vicious and Delicious had broken up, backed off and whatever, they may have been able to save the tower over in the dual lane. But because they kept fighting and they kept sticking around, they committed so hard that Medusa was able to push down that left-hand tower. So it was 2 towers for nothing. Except for, there was a kill. But beyond that, there was 2 towers plus more kills. It's 13-11 at 14 minutes in, and Iguana Gang are now in the lead in experience and gold. That's a 6,000 experience lead over 7 minutes, or swing, and a 5,000 gold, 4,000 gold lead over the same amount of time.
Yeah, couple of things to note though. First of all, the kill that they did get was very vital. It was onto the tier. So that shut him down. That gave a ton of gold to the AMC, who is still ahead of Medusa by about 800, just mostly because of that shutdown gold. So quite a good thing for them. But more importantly, Iguana Gang, 2 of the kills they got out of the, 3, went on to Isis.
Which is huge for Iguana Gang.
Exactly. Very big for them. The Isis is now back in the game a little bit. On the right-hand side, Spectre's taking a tiny bit of damage. It looks like Q wants to go for another Fearless. Not going to find it though. Spectre went invisible and went round the side. Although he could find it if Spectre comes back into the lane again, although he's just Fearless anyway. So.
Yeah, Spectre, I don't like him pushing up so far. He really needs to be, if he's farming, he needs to be farming near the edge of his tower, not much further out, just because of how easily he is killed. He's low on health a lot of the time, which is why he went into Vanguard. He's so squishy. He doesn't have a whole lot of damage against Tyr, and Tyr's getting ready to go into Mystical Mail, which normally, wow, why are you going into so late?
Oh wow, actually going to see another Fearless going in. Spectre's already on half health. Metamorphosis is just going to be forced to use the heal just to try and keep Spectre to stay in this lane, of which he doesn't want to be just staying in this lane. He wants to be here. He wants to be trying to kill OQ. He doesn't have any solo kill potential right now, which really sucks as an Ao Kuang, because that's mostly what he does. He just presses 2, burst down with his 3, along with most of his base attacks, and then gets the kill. He can't do that. he has to try and clear, and he's not that great of a clear god.
I do agree, and so again, that's the problem with with Yao Kuang on the solo lane, especially up against a big burly warrior like Tyr, is if he can't get off any early pressure, Tyr can just abuse him, especially a god that has as much damage as Tyr does. Tyr, sitting 5-1-5 is huge, and I mean, you're going to have a problem against a god that's 5-1-5 almost all of the time, especially when you start sitting this far behind. But Yao Kuang really hurts in this position. It looks like we're going to see a Gold Fury attempt, or at least a Gold Fury fight. Good root there onto Oku, followed by a great stun as well. I think they know they need to kill him here, but they can't quite lock him down.
Yep, he's Tyr. He doesn't get that and doesn't get CC for too long. And now Iguana Gang are heading up to look for something else as well. They're going to start the Gold Fury up here. Medusa Ultimate is still available, so this could be a big fight for them if they want to go...
5-man Rapid Terra.
Yeah, big Rapid Terra there, but split off immediately. Ninja Sniper actually going to find Fit for a King. Ultimate comes out onto Spectre and Beniki, but it's not going to be enough. Actually, the Yao Kuang Ultimate wasn't able to find the execution. Beniki misses his own ultimate. This looks like Medusa's going to fall down. No one else though. Ninja Sniper's looking for OQ or Purple. Either one of them will do for him, but he can't find either right now. Taunt's going to come in from Purple, and that's going to be another kill. Fearless going to try and do stuff, but not going to find it either. That's a double kill going to Spectre. Really nice use of the decoy there. Meanwhile, Buddha and Beniki were doing Gold Fury. That's a Gold Fury to them, and the middle tier 1 tower as well.
Fishes and delicious as they now take the charge. 3,000 experience, 2,500 gold, and that's a swing that's happened in less than 4 minutes. So
yeah, and now Veraneum's actually nearly dying underneath the tower. They're suddenly going to be able to take out that tier 2 tower now. Fit for a King could even fall again if Beniki can find the slow. Actually going to get the weakening curse out, and that is definitely a dead Fit for a King. Isis not going to be a fight for him. Medusa is also taking a lot of damage. Veraneum probably the only person to keep them away, and only just. He's on quite low health himself. He's got to be quite careful. The AMC's looking in this area, although looking more for the mid camp than the speed buff.
I think that's a heal up more than anything else for him. Beniki going it back now, sitting on 1,800 gold, going to wrap up and then wrap up Executioner, and then either get some items going, which is what I would like to see, or he's going to go into that Fatalis. Fatalis, an item that was relatively popular on AMC a long time ago because it helped his kiting out even more, and when his movement speed is so high when he's near his hives, you didn't need sprint. And so you would buy Fatalis instead, and then just kite for days. And so now that Fatalis is an item that is, considered acceptable again, you might as well do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it used to be that the sort of Fatalis build was sort of used. I'm going to see a gank onto OQ. Slow going to come out from Buddha, trying to do damage. Athena Ultimate was used as well. Taunt is going to be here, getting a 3-man Taunt. Beniki looking for the Athena rather than looking for the Tyr, knowing that she's going to be the easier and weaker target. A lot of ultimates used on her. OQ is going to be fine, but I think that was 4 ultimates used and Ninja Sniper falls in the mid lane to the Isis. Tyr's going to be forced to use the ultimate away. Spectre's going to be here to try and slow him down. Is not going to be able to find it. The Fear that's going to come out, trying to do a lot of damage. Great Spirit Ball though from Fit for a King. Paul's going to come in as well after the root, and that's going to be the ultimate away. Spectre is going to get the kill onto Oki, finally. Going to land down and immediately get a lot of damage. Fit for a King is very nearly dead already, and now the Singer's being picked up. Looking for the Medusa on the backline is going to go down. Veraneum just escaped barely with the double dash away.
Indeed, and so that's a huge set there. I will say on the ultimate from Nuwa, I don't think that was an ultimate for Nuwa trying to actually get the kill. That was an ultimate from Nuwa simply trying to escape over in her engagement that was occurring. Still, definitely a big issue, but at the end of the day, I don't think that first fight matters when the second fight is so strong. Also, Benny Q showing just how powerful AMC is up against the... up against a Fire Giant. Though his hives are getting taken out, because he's not quite placing them in the right spot. He's actually maintaining a very, very high health pool off of that because of all of the healing from his hives and then also the life heal that AMC has.
That pull over the wall again, and now Veraneum's going to go down. Nice taunt from Athena, trying to get as much damage as possible, but she's just too far behind. Spectre going to get a double kill here. and now Isis just running away. She can't contest this. She's too far behind. Vicious and Delicious are too far ahead. They just need to break up.
They really do.
Anyway.
Excuse me, going to go push over the solo lane. Again, AMC, his problem is lack of mobility, but he's still an incredibly good tower killer because of how fast he basic attacks effectively. And so even though if you go for a full basic attack build on him, you may be only doing 50 to 100 damage per hit, but you're hitting so fast. You're hitting up there with Apollo in terms of your basic attack speed, so it's not too bad. Though again, if he gets caught, he's dead.
Yeah, he is most likely going to be dead until he gets his Fatalis. As you were talking about, Fatalis is starting to get more popular, and the main reason why is Deathbringer actually got nerfed so it doesn't do as much crit, extra crit damage. And it was already an item that was sort of being questioned as to whether it was good. So now we're usually seeing Fatalis picked up for its passive. BenQ actually getting taunted into the tower, taking quite a bit of damage. OQ couldn't find the Fearless just in time, and now Spectre's going to use the blink away. Rhaenian doing a lot of damage to Mental Psychosis. He's actually going to fall, followed by Spectre as well before he can get his ultimate off. But of course, to use his ultimate to jump away. Ninja Sniper does get Rhaenian in the backline using his own ultimate. BenQ also going to find out Purple. OQ using his ultimate in, looking for the second Fearless, is going to, and Fit for a King is going to take down BenQ, and now at least only Buddha are alive on this right hand side, finally going to go down to Naru. But Ninja Sniper just pushed down the left hand Phoenix.
So that was a 4 versus 5. Definitely bad that Vicious and Delicious lost Fire Giant on everyone, and BenQ still down for 42 seconds. Madame Psychosis up sooner. But Ninja Sniper was able to say, you know what, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to be pushing. You guys do whatever you want over there. I'm going to take this tower. And it's a level 19 Nuwa. She's got an Obsidian Shard online. She's got her Book of Thoth fully stacked. She's got a Rod of Tahuti. She said, yeah, I know that I was going to buy a Chronos Pendant, but I like killing people better. And that's exactly what she does.
She's currently sitting at 531 magical power, and that's without... I think she just dropped her magical pot or something like that. So she's going to get back up to 631 with this red buff. So she's dealing 237 damage per base attack, and she's got a 1.32 attack speed, meaning that she's doing a lot of damage to Phoenixes. And yes, there is backdoor protection to Phoenixes, but guess what? Clay minions get rid of those backdoor protections. Suddenly... Ninja Sniper will be pretty much able to clear the Phoenix on his own, maybe with the minion wave will guarantee that Phoenix. And so that's what he's probably going to be looking to do.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a big deal here for Iguana Gang because they do have to defend their Gold Fury side. Fit King is going to beat Beads, obviously doesn't help against the knock-up, but it does prevent him from getting pulled by Metapsychosis. Psychosis. And over in the solo lane, we are going to see Spectre trying to maybe fight here with his jungler, and OQ is out of mana, though the Athena ultimate is here, so they do need to be careful. Going to see Spectre getting out of dodge with those water illusions. Going to see Spectre coming out as well, just going to slow one. Now, fight. Can they get anything beads used by Naru? Naru is going to disengage off the top side. We are going to see Tier backing as well, meaning that the initial initiation is over. However, mid lane, we are going to see the Bee and the Snake going to take that down as Ninja Sniper and BenQ do finish that off. However, good taunt in the middle of that fight. Ninja Sniper, though, is going to finish it for King. Rhaenian finishing off Buddha on the bottom, and now they're looking at BenQ. BenQ in a little bit of trouble. Can't quite pick a target. Spectre is going to finish off Purple, and Beads from Rhaenian is going to save him for a moment. However, BenQ's dot is going to finish him off there. OQ gets a field killer on the BenQ with that Fearless and Power Clean combo, and now Spectre looking for a little more. Spectre is going to just barely find Naru with those dragons, and now OQ trying to find a little bit more, but he's oh so low. But he's pushed a lot of people off. That is a 4-for-2 trade so far. OQ falls now. That is a deicide as we hear Mania singing in happiness as he dies, which I don't really know why the soccer club is happy, but hey.
Yep, deicide, and this looks like it's going to be actually game as the Titan is falling very quickly. No one's going to be up in time. Game to Vicious and Delicious. After a little bit of a rocky mid lane, they were finally able to actually finish it off, secure it. Spectre got online, was able to find his sort of blow-up potential, which is what you want to do as a Alquang, and they were able to pull through.
Indeed, so that is going to be the end of that, and Vicious and Delicious will be defeating Iguana Gang in this quarter-final matchup. So unfortunately, we will not be seeing Iguana Gang anymore today. However, I'm sure we will see them back next week. A lot of names that we are very familiar with. Now we're going to be moving on to the semifinals I believe, well, Iguana Gang will be going up against Inverse Esports. I believe we will be doing the winners of Spitfire versus the AO on your brackets, which is Spitfire versus Burly Men. I believe that's wrapping up as we speak, and that will be up against Free K-Spot, who did beat out the Nizzle Shizzles, which is a team that we have seen a lot of in the last few months in community tournaments. So, condolences to them being taken out in the quarterfinals, but K-Spot is in the top 4 now for this first week, as well as Inverse Esports and Iguana Gang. So we have 3/4 of our top 4 of our first week already decided.
Yep, indeed, and we cannot wait to be able to get into this next game. However, sadly, we have to. So we will be back as soon as we can with the top side semi-final bracket, semi-final match. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon.